Good evening and salutations, my YNR fans. Summer, once again, is doing too much. Okay? So, she sees Kyle and Harris and Claire in the park and all just kind of hanging out or whatever. And so she comes with her deranged ass mother. And, you know, Harris is really super excited that, he gets to hang out with Claire and feed the ducks and everything like that. And Phyllis comes over and Phyllis is all like, "Oh, I'm Harris' overprotective grandmother." I was like, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere. So it's super tense. Victoria's there. They hang out for a little bit, and eventually Victoria just kind of takes Claire away. Summer is just on one at this point. And the thing that really annoys me is this is something that's just annoying me across the board, right? But we'll sit there and start with this one. Some of these men, and their passive aggressive nature, is really starting to get on my damn nerves. Some I see in General Hospital with Jason, and I'm seeing this ish play out here. I get it. She is still on edge, even though Harris is home. And although she is not simply saying, "Hey, listen, you weren't in on the kidnapping," in a lot of ways you were still kind of involved, right? And I understand that she practically sat there and was like, "Hey, listen, I just told you not that long ago I don't want her near our son, and then I see you with her near our son." And Kyle's like, "Hey, listen, we just kind of ran into her. This wasn't planned or anything like that." But she just goes off, and I'm just like, let's just keep it real, okay? You're gonna get that same energy back. And apparently, she must have been married to a beta because the level of anger and venom and just being all loud and stuff like that, trying to talk over people, most men ain't gonna put up with that. Okay, I don't give a damn how much they love you. Every man's patience gets to a point. Okay, and just hearing her, mine would have already been through the roof. And it's so bad that when Harris gets back and he's like, "Hey, listen, you're hungry or whatever, let me make you some food or whatever," her little dumbass decides to come with them and looks at him as like, "Oh, well, I want to make sure there's no mishaps or whatever." I couldn't sit there and be in the same room with a woman like her, let alone marry that thing. Seriously, her dumbass actually came to the Abbott house just to make sure, you know. I'm like, you are just. Hmm. Now, Phyllis sees Diane and is like, "Hey, we gotta sit there and talk some sense to Kyle, and I'm not liking it, I'm not feeling it. I was just meant there trying to give Summer advice and like maybe you need to chill out," but Diane ain't trying to hear it. Okay? Diane left Jack and it was like, "I need some space. What you did was incredibly selfish, and you didn't think about us when you decided to do what you did." And while Jack is sitting there saying, "Well, I had it under control," you didn't have it under control because you passed out because you mixed two substances together that you shouldn't have mixed. So when you sit there and say, "I had it under control," you are insulting her. You're insulting her intelligence. And so I understand where she's coming from. And the thing is, in a way, I can kind of see a little bit myself in the way that Jack is trying to explain his actions, right? Most men has this tendency when we get into an argument, a disagreement, with our respective partners, it's not so much that women don't use logic, right? But we have this way where we feel like if we say the right words and we craft it together, we like to fix things, okay? There's a problem, we're generally fixers, okay? And the problem is not everything can sit there and be fixed with a simple conversation. Everything can sit there and be persuaded if you use the right argument. It's honestly, tell you the truth, it's just a man thing. Um, but she's like, I need some distance, whatever. So she goes to the cafe and she runs into Phyllis. She's like, I don't feel like dealing with you. Let the kids work it out. Stay out of it, right? Now, Victoria and Cole are talking to Victor, and Victor's like, you need to go back to Newman. You need to sit there and take Claire with you. Now, Victoria is like, I can't believe when she left that part. She was like, hey, Kyle, just keep in mind what I said as far as Claire watching Harrison. Do you not see the way that this woman is reacting, and you still sitting there trying to push this whole babysitting nanny thing? Somebody said this yesterday. A couple people said this. Victoria, you got to sit there and slow your roll, okay? You cannot expect every person in town to just welcome this chick that has not been out the psych ward that long after what she just did with open arms. You gotta kind of chill out. You gotta breathe a little bit, bro. You can't. You can't rush this, right? And she's like, oh, I want her to be a nanny and a babysitter, and Victor's like, no, I don't want her anywhere near the others. Okay, the damn Jack and his foolishness, because Victor is acting like an ungrateful ass and also jealous of the fact that he couldn't save his quote unquote baby. So we're dealing with a cranky, jealous Victor, and he won't have it. Okay, he's like, yo, listen, you need to come back to Newman. You need to sit there and have Claire as your assistant, and that's it. And then he goes back downstairs and he plays with Jordan, who is losing her mind. It's just hilarious. And it's also sad because they just turned this character into a damn cartoon. And I have a feeling because he keeps dangling freedom, he's like, hey, listen, you get your freedom if you sit there and you do something to Jack. So he's going to sit there and probably let this sociopath out. Claire's a wild card. I mean, Jordan's a wild card. Something happens to one of the family members. We can all sit there and just blame Victor. Let's be honest. The fact that you didn't take her to jail, and yes, I get it. He took her to jail last time. Well, that was because of Nikki and the two other idiots. Um, but she escaped police custody. Yes, she escaped police custody. And, I mean, the last time she burnt down a jail. So I understand part of me is like, what is taking her back to jail going to do? Um, I have a feeling he's going to sit there and try to release her to go after Jack. Um, Now, Kyle is more supportive of Jack and what he did. I mean, don't get me wrong, he didn't like it, but he understood it as far as, pushing him to the edge to sit there and help somebody that you care about. And yes, I think yesterday's episode, he was getting into it with his mom, and once, his mom is like, "Hey, listen, this is another time you're sitting there, trying to undermine me, trying to go against me." Now this time he actually wasn't. The office stuff, he kept trying to play it off like, "Oh, what are you talking about? I don't." Bro, it wasn't that long ago you were telling Summer that you was literally trying to undermine her. So don't sit there and try to play dumb and coy now. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else. But, as I always sit there and say, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born and Beautiful, Young and Restless. And I will see you in the next video.